Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist, joins us now. And Derrell, it's been a while since we've seen you. Let's kind of start with a rundown of the markets in terms of demand.
Well, but one of the biggest changes we've seen over the last month has been a strong rebound in box beef prices. We were sort of looking for that. The market struggled a lot through January and February in general across the board for both beef and cattle markets. But we've seen a nice rebound. We're back up against that $2 a pound mark or close to it. Choice box beef is around $1.96 at the moment. And I think that'll be the real test over the next month to 6 weeks probably will be once again a challenge of that $2 a pound level, and that'll sort of tell the tale then for the next few months if we're able or unable to go through that level.
What are you looking at in terms of fed cattle?
Well, fed cattle markets also rebounded, over that time period. They have softened back up again recently. Margins are still an issue. The increase in box beef prices really helped the packer margins short term, but the feed and then the feedlot margins got some relief as fed cattle prices came back up. But all of these markets are still struggling with their margins, and clearly fed cattle prices will take their cue from here on what happens to the box beef prices. So demand is still very, very key to fed cattle prices as we go forward.
And then is that translating to feeder cattle as well?
Feeder cattle also softened as we went through January and February, and they have recovered a little bit. It was really more the drought conditions weighing on the market. Of course, we have gotten some rain over the last month, so there's a little bit of relief there. More importantly, I think feedlots, demand will not be maybe real strong, but I think it'll be coming back a bit as we have moved through, some feedlot supplies the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. So feeder cattle markets haven't picked up as much yet as I expect them to. If the moisture continues, that would definitely ensure that we would have strong spring demand for grazing cattle. But otherwise, feedlot demand is still a bit muted, and it'll depend on the fed cattle prices, how feeder cattle prices go over the next month or so.
Okay, spring is here. What kind of advice are you giving producers as we move forward?
Well, I think cattle producers in Oklahoma are still very much got an eye on the drought situation. The moisture we've had is very nice. It's going to give us a start to greening things up, but it really hasn't changed things in a couple of fundamental ways. First of all, it hasn't done much at all to recharge surface water, so our ponds are still very low, and limited water is a major concern for many producers. Secondly, it's just not enough to cure the drought. It's a good start, but unless we continue to receive moisture on a timely basis, and really we need above normal moisture to continue recharging the soil, in addition to what we're going to need as we warm up and get into these warm, windy days that will use a lot of moisture. So the drought is still the major factor there, and producers still need to be planning ahead to what they're going to do if it does or if it doesn't rain, and make those plans accordingly as we go forward.
Okay, Derrell Peel, we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Thanks a lot.